So today is um, April the 7th, 2025, and I just woke up and I went to bed at 7. Um, I am supposed to go to Clayton County today to take care of the reply to catch up, and I'm supposed to um, go to, I'm supposed to check on my case with Marta to see um, where it stands, which I can probably try to log in there to see where we are with that or call. Um, so this is what happened this morning, and I'm going to have to just pray because I honestly and truly don't know what is the best course of action. And um, I've just noticed that the date on this um, email from Fulton County says 6/13/24. I have to think about that because June 13th, but that was 23. Okay, I was thinking about catch up. All right, so um, I don't honestly and truly know. Sometimes I could talk out loud and the answer will come to me. That's another reason why I do these lives, is to hear myself think, because I don't have another person to discuss this foolishness with so that I could tell them what happened. So basically, when I apply for a job online, the jobs that I apply for online are, okay, it doesn't say that they've been served. So basically, what happens is um, I apply for a job online. First of all, the jobs that I see online are not the jobs that everyone else sees online. So if I see a job online, a good example would be BFM&O. Well, no one knows what that is and who they are, and they will have this really good ad, and then you apply, and then it will fish you out to an app, and then so you will start the application, and then when you do the application, it'll say now you have to download the app to schedule your appointment or complete the I-9 section. So I know this is a trick, and I don't feel comfortable doing it, but what else are you going to do? You have to apply for a job, because if not, then everybody is going to say you're a loser and you're not applying for a job. But no one witnesses the tricks. So you download the app, which goes to a man that is working in this house, and then you only see the jobs that apply to men, and then BFONM is on the back of his shirt when he goes out to go to work. So you can pretty much link that they made you complete an application for a job A that you're not going to get, and then B, you uploaded I-9 documents that you're never going to see or verify, and then you don't even get a job. So it's like we're just tricking you. And then the worst case about the whole thing is it's going to be backdated. It's not even going to be for this day and time. It's going to be for someone else in a different time period. So why I'm saying all of this is because this is what happened. I want everybody to hear it. I applied for Prologistics. So let's go. And I was referred. I knew that this was a scout because don't take any of their referrals. None. I don't care who it is. If they refer you, it's wrong. 199% of the time. You're never going to be getting credible information. If they tell you, oh, you should apply for here, they're only linking you to behavior that has already existed. So on March 31st, 2025, the guy in the gray car, the same gray car that they put out here about a couple of mornings ago, that same gray car they put out here, and when I woke up at 9 o'clock, it was just sitting right there in the driveway. Anyway, it was a black male driving the car, and he was my lift from Strayer on Flowers Road to Chambly Station. He said, apply at Prologistics, and he also made a couple of references to that he was in IT. He did IT, um, customer service tech support. All right. So has that been a job thing on Indeed? Yep. Have it been on Craigslist? Yep. So I didn't worry about that. So he said, go to Prologistics. Well, I'm thinking, well, best case scenario, they're still going to let me work at least a couple of days. So if I work a couple of days, that'll be good rather than none. All right. So I'm going to go apply. I know it's a setup. I know it's a trick, but I'm going to go apply. All right. So go to Pearl Logistics, and I'm going to Google them. And I'm going to, which is why the lady asked me on the phone, how did you hear about us? Because they want you to not say that you were linked to them by a scout. So I say, and I wasn't going to say the name. They know how I was gotten him. So the number that they know how I got to them. So the number comes up as 678-904-1648, which I'm quite sure is not their real number. When you call the number, this is what you get. Please select the reason for your call. There's no greeting. So that right there is also a red flag. You could be calling anywhere, and more than likely, that number is not right. It's probably calling a drug dealer. So that's Prologistics. So then you go to the website. You go to the website, and it has a pop-up, which is weird. And it says, now you have Prologistics, now you have Employ Bridge, and now you have Blue Crew. So they have 3 links to this one company. So when you go to 3 links, which just means 3 different jobs, 3 different men, 3 different states, 3 different phone numbers, 3 different devices, 3 different pay cards, 3 different accounts, 3 different activities, 3 different years or more. 3 is the minimum. So Prologistics goes to Employee Bridge, and Employee Bridge goes to Blue Crew. So they tell you when you get here, the pop-up thing, just like they did on FedEx, it takes over the website, and it looks like this. Can you see the little pop-up box? Let's see. Is that really? I don't think you can see it. Yeah, now you can. Let's see. Now you can see it really good. Well, anyway, there it is. So you see the little pop-up box. Once you see the little pop-up box, you're now going to be chatting with that chat box. That's going to redirect you. So then you're going to download Blue Crew and you're going to go to Employee Bridge. Now, Blue Crew is different in the app than it is from the actual website through Google Chrome on the phone, because Blue Crew won't send any notifications to me to my phone number because it's linked to someone else. But it will allow me to do it without a link to my phone number through the website. So this is how you know there is manipulation there between the phone and between the actual application. So all three companies insist that you upload I-9 documentation. You can't go any further without it. They won't. They will keep sending incoming traffic emails from people like Janelle, that was an inmate at South Carolina Department of Corrections, and she's also, or it is also in my email as JB, and which was her name at South Carolina Department of Corrections, 2809 Airport Road, Leith Correctional Institution, from 2004, 5-ish to 2006. Now, this application is going to flag because it's not real, and someone else is completing it with me and submitting I-9 documentation. Normally, with any I-9 documentation that you submit, you're going to submit it through DocuSign. DocuSign almost always sends you or asks you if you would like a copy of the documents you sign. Why? Because that's legal. So if I was to put in DocuSign in my emails from prior, I have a list of anything that I've signed through DocuSign. It automatically comes over. Here is your receipt. You could print the documents or you can have them emailed. I never get a DocuSign anything. I don't ever get the I-9 documents or the W-4 worksheet. Now, this is where I get concerned and I get anxiety, and I don't like to do this. Well, we already know that a Mexican or either a male is going to be completing these forms with me. Either a black male or a Mexican man. Or in some cases, it could be a female. But something is going to be submitting these documents in place of what I have. And that is to keep me falsely linked with creating false federal documents so that the FBI can drop back and now have made good on those little cards they have had since 2004. So that is the whole umbrella. But wait, because it changes. So when I submit documents, it more than likely is not my documents they're getting. When I submit, and I have recorded this since 2021, whenever I do documents, mainly I screen record myself inputting my information. It doesn't matter what the job is, who the job is for. There is always a problem on that W-4 and on that I-9 documents. And I'm going on record probably for the rest of this year saying that on some type of recording platform. I want to get that in the narrative until we figure out they change the narrative. Because, number one, on the W-4, it's always going to be an address change. This is why I never get the W-2s, because the information that you're putting in is not the information that's going to actually go into the system. You're just being used, taking a picture with AI to say that, did you fill out this form on, you know, July the 2nd of Neverwary? And the answer is, I did sit there and I did. Is this you filling out this form? Well, yeah, but you can't see the background of the computer. It was somebody else too, because it was swapped. And that's the whole beauty of this setup, that you can literally be looking at this and that is not your screen. What you're looking at is bullshit. They have changed it. There is a man with Mexican balls or a female that is in the background with that other sim on that same exact website. And if I get ahead of them, my screen is going to buffer. So you have to wait until they catch up. And when you submit, they are submitting, but your content isn't going anywhere. It's like they're drawing over you. So once that, you're just engaging, but it's not going anywhere. The only thing that's being recorded is the activity from Sim 2, the eSIM or the hard SIM, depending on, they swap them back and forth all day. So what happens is, you will engage and they will take your picture and they will put, like they did at BRS in California, they put a Hilton Head address. I never lived there. Now, this is when you're going to really say, I have to see it to believe it. And I got the proof. So take BRS and then let's go over to Fifth Third Bank. No, let's go over to Wood Forest Bank. It's Wood Forest or Fifth Third. And it was, I'm thinking it was Fifth Third. No, because I'm thinking, where did I first? I'm thinking it was Fifth Third. Got a bank statement. Look at all of the statements that are wrong. The ones that are linked are going to have X and 3 numbers and then an address. That is a flag letting you know this is evidence. And that's why they put it there. Otherwise, you don't rarely see an address on your thing. But they put the address there so that IRS is going to pull that evidence for court purposes. So they're going to say, you are a liar and you're old, because that number goes to Hilton Head card that a Mexican got up there. Well, probably won't be no Mexicans there, so it'll probably be black or white. So that address and that card is going to be on that statement, but it's not going to be that real card. That's why you're going to see the X in the front. So how that links to this is that application, that card, that profile are all in the same location. So what they do is, on your application, in order to link you to Hublot that is in Hilton Head with 8633, what we need to do is put that address on here, backdate that application to 2021, and there you go. Everything matches across the board. We got the address, we got her face, we got Hublot, he's around her swapping out, and we got the card that's linked to her account. That works easy across the board. In a court of law, you look like, and it ain't a matter of, they don't care about truth, They like what it looks like. So they have the card, they have the location, they have a Mexican man with balls, and they have a card. They don't care that this is false information. They know that. They're creating it on purpose. So all of this across the board in a court of law looks to them as a win. This is a score. We did it. We made it work using artificial intelligence. So they take that and they link that to this application. So always on that W-4 and on that I-9, that address is going to be a link. This is why I never get W-2s. Hadn't got mine from Popeyes, and the amount on Popeyes it's a little bit higher than the actual paycheck stuff. But I'll get into that later. So the W-4 is going to be the address. That's going to be the problem. On the I-9, the problem is always going to be the number of exemptions to make it look like you got kids. Number 2, it's going to be the exempt area. And number 3 is going to be the amount of allowances. So they're making me have a tax liability or obligation because on every job they say you're exempt. And that is because the person that is completing these forms with me is submitting this form ahead of me. I have recorded this. I have talked about that on live, the Amazon abuse. It says that. And that at this time, it wasn't so heavy that it was actually the master chimed in on it. So if I love to bring up Amazon abuse, because it's so relevant to what happened. And I love to play that video, and I'm going to look for it right now and play it because I love it. I love it. It's one of my favorites because it is so raw, and they tried their best to clean up that ding, and you couldn't. They softened it, but it was purposed. And I love it. I love the video. I like to hear it. And I'm saying the very same thing that I'm saying right now. And speaking of that, Google should have Amazon abuse that you could actually Google it and it comes up. And I shouldn't have to flip through all of my videos to get to that. And I thought it would bring up mine, but it's not. It's searching theirs. I want to search my videos and look for it. So let's see. If we go to Amazon abuse, and I look at it at least once, probably every 6 months, and they actually put the little crazy face on it to let you know that they had intentions on making me look crazy. It's the best piece of evidence I think I got to date. I think it is because it just has so much. They actually put a crazy face on my employment record and sent it to me because they didn't think that this would get this far, that this many people would see it, and that even if it did, it wouldn't matter. And see, that's where we have to look at justice. Don't look at me. Look at justice to say, well, is that true? They put the crazy face there. Nobody else is getting HR communication with crazy face emojis on it. Like, that's what they were sending me. Like, gotcha. We're not paying you, and we're going to make you sit in your car. And that's what they did. They didn't give me my money so that I could pay for my rent at the hotel because they wanted me to leave the hotel on the weekend of September of 2021. So it would look like I was in the wreck with ketchup. Score! Yes! We're going to talk about that. We're going to tear that up in a minute. I'm going to celebrate that today. And I've been saying that, but now that junk got a pop to it like, yes, that's exactly what they did, which I already said that. But I got more evidence to link that. So we're going to go back to, I want to find that video so bad. Where is it? I have so many videos. Gosh, I'm not even close to it. So it's like they put they wanted me to be in the street. And they wanted it to look like I traveled to Atlanta or to Augusta on the weekend of August of 2021, September of 2021, when Ketchup allegedly had this wreck where he went through the windshield. They wanted me involved in that. Now, whether they wanted me to be a passenger in it, causing the wreck, I don't know. But they wanted me in that. They wanted me in that because they staged it. They even had Henry Else bring bark. That man, I promised to God in a court of law, do you promise to tell the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God? In Jesus' name, he rose on the third day. We're going to tell it all. That man came in my hotel room, 209. They had a young boy standing 211, by the way. They had that man roll up there in that cart. And because I asked him for one, this was it before I had seen the fumes or after? This was, I think, while the fumes was going. I was trying to get out of the hotel. And no, I think they was not going yet. He had tried to, I can't remember if it was before or after that, but either way, the man had bought me a bell car. And I was trying to get away from him. And he had bought me that bell harp. And I seen that bark on there, that gravel from the street. I told him, in the name of Jesus, take that back where you got that from. I don't want that. I tonight, God had me so smart. He wanted it to look like that gravel had came out of my stuff. Sir, go take that back where you got that from. So, I don't know how, because I don't know nothing about it. I went to the law library in California and I wrote it down that when I went to they were very racist in California. Now, that white man that worked at Rancho Cucamonga Library, you black ain't gonna come up in there getting no education on no law. That white man don't play that. And he wasn't just racist to me. He was racist to a black man. The man had on a mask, and he told him, your mask ain't up far enough. He didn't want to even be in there with us and our black breath. That man went all the way to the back. That man was so racist and nasty. They took out, I went to go get information on, I think, the Fourth Amendment. They took out the entire section. And he sent me to a code, wrong code, that was on explosives. Now, I wrote that down and didn't pay attention until now. And I try not to say too much about stuff like that because they build on everything that I say. But I think that if God allowed it to come up, then he allowed it to come up for a reason and for me to say it for a reason. So it was there, and I said they took out the whole section, and he referred me to a book on explosives. These people are, and I said he purposely didn't give me the right book. So, next thing that I wonder during that same period of September 2021 was when I went to Walmart on Euclid and they had sold me the receipt that said CB4. And I said, I don't even know what that is. And I said, when I took the Chromebook back that they staged me there from Amazon, I said, I never, sir, I don't know what this is, and even why it's on my receipt. I don't know whether it was rang up first before I ever got back there, and then he just added my. That's probably what they did because it was not on the counter. So when they knew I was going to ring up, he just hid the thing, scanned it, rung it up, and then it came out on my receipt, and I didn't pay attention and just paid for it, I guess, or they swapped a receipt. But either way, that wasn't my receipt. So the dude at Walmart, Andre, was the one that returned it, the manager. It was a big white guy. And then the guy that sold it to me was a Mexican. He was big too, and his name was Reggie. So they have reduplicated him last year at Hilton Two Suites. And so basically, all of that just came out because I was talking about Amazon. But so you can see clearly how everything links and runs together because it all links together. And I was really talking about the job. I wasn't talking about this, but everything links because that's how they did it to make it look like I'm crazy and that I'm old and that I'm recalling events of crimes that I've committed when they know better because they're the ones that's doing the lying. So to get out of all of that so that I don't keep building in that direction and come back to the application, I just wanted to say that they did that because they will hold money to make you check out. And they abused the law. Governor Newsom, with his fine self, said nobody is to do any moving, that California was under an alert. And they didn't care nothing about that being the governor. They didn't care nothing about what that man said. They said, get out of this hotel. And I didn't want to create no waves. I didn't want to start anything. I was very scared that if you stay, they will probably kill you here. You need to just leave. If they're saying leave, maybe they're trying to protect you. Just leave. I didn't want to start no trouble. So I just left. And I didn't have to. The governor had said I could stay and didn't even have to pay. That's what the governor said. I didn't even have to pay because Georgia was getting better with COVID, but California was not. They were still in it. So I didn't even have to pay. They made me get out and didn't give me my check from Amazon. So couldn't have the money. So it would look like you left and went to wherever catch up was staged with this wreck. So this is the Amazon abuse. I love this video. I love looking at it. Not online. And this is what happened. So let's get it to play. But I needed to get it off my chest. They came to me. And I wish I could have my music while I talk and do this because it's comforting and it helps me. But I just thought about something like this. Sometimes I was wondering too, are you just saying stuff? Or like, are you alright? And then when I think about what I'm saying, yeah, anytime you cannot make decisions on your own, if someone is making decisions
for you as if you don't exist at all. You are not any longer in control of yourself. You are a slave. I complain all the time about this person going ahead and making decisions for me, doing stuff ahead of me, filling out job paperwork, going ahead, always going ahead of me. How many times did I go on Amazon and ask for my check and I still don't have it because he said no?
Now they softened that. They softened that. There was a hard. They hadn't cut off the dings yet. They cut off the dings when I built Ding, DING. Do it now, girl. It when I built it and linked it to the movie. I built it and linked it to the movie Get Out. And when I seen how that when I showed them how that lady pressed that cut, ding, and it sent that boy into a trance. And I said, that's exactly what y'all doing on this phone. And y'all using haptics and everything else and commercials and everything else. Like, if you don't do it, this is what we'll do. And you use them visual haptics to cause mental injury and to cause somebody to do something. And when they seen how I built that case that fast, them white people said, get that mess off her phone. That's why my phone don't do it no more. My phone don't have that. I don't care what phone I get. It doesn't have that. It will have a soft pause, but my phones do not ding anymore and haven't dinged since around this period. So I'm going to play it again because I love to hear it.
Just not right. But I needed to get it off my chest. They came to me. And I wish I could have my music while I talk and do this because it's comforting and it helps me. But I just thought about something like this. Sometimes I was wondering, are you just saying stuff? Or like, are you alright? And then, but I think about what I'm saying. Yeah, anytime you cannot make decisions on your own, if someone is making decisions for you as if you don't exist at all, you are not any longer in control of yourself. You are a slave. I complain all the time about this person going ahead and making decisions for me, doing stuff ahead of me, filling out job paperwork, going ahead, always going ahead of me. How many times did I go on Amazon and ask for my check and I still don't have it because he said no?
I love it. 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 Every time I hear it, the abuse is, you can't get no more raw than that. I'm laying in the truck, I'm crying, and I kept making videos in the Sonesta Hotel, and they had told me to stop, and I didn't because it was too much going on, and it was the only thing I had to keep me sane was to talk to my videos. And they put me out of the hotel and did not let me get paid and would literally flag my employment every week. Like, I know everybody else getting paid, I didn't. Like, I was supposed to get a bonus pay, they didn't even give it to me. And so one of the other girls said that she got hers and they moved her away from me that night, didn't let me talk to her anymore. So it's like, what Amazon promised me a $2,000 sign-on bonus, never got it. You know what I'm saying? And they was doing me so wrong because they didn't want me to have no money to be comfortable. So I went there with $5,000 and got a job at Amazon. They made Amazon push my job start date back to from June 1st when I got the job and got hired. I didn't start work, I think, till like June 20th, 25th, somewhere very close to July, so that I was using my money to pay for that hotel out of that $5,000 that I had. So they would be depleting this income, and then you go to work, and then we gonna make that location far. So you're traveling over an hour and a half using all that gas up. We basically we know how to take your money. And so I thought that surely I should be financially secure with Amazon, and Uber Eats and Instacart. It's no way you could go broke. Yes, the hell it is. Because when I went to do Uber Eats, they were doing Uber rides. And when I kept catching it, they got mad. And so you ain't getting no more orders today. And then if I did, I went to places like funeral homes. I went to florist shops. I went to funeral home flower shops. I went to people that have had funerals. I will never forget pulling up at the lady's house. Somebody ordered food and they was having a funeral service. And I mean, like a memorial or whatever. Like, they used to aggravate. I will never in my life forget the dead Tesla that they put behind me. I will never in my life forget that somebody actually decorated an entire Tesla in memorial stuff and followed me. I will never in my life forget that. So what I'm saying in that whole process was, I just literally didn't want to rock the boat up there no more than I already was. And they wanted me to go out and be homeless because I would have been vulnerable to kidnapping, prostitution, but mainly because they wanted me to look like I traveled during that time of when Ketchup had that accident, or when it was staged. And Easter is the one that called the hotel, or called me at the hotel to tell me about it. Now, you put the scenario together to say, if me and Ketchup ain't talking, why is Easter having this information, and who in the world told her? There you go. So Easter is the one that called me, and Easter had first-hand pictures of the accident. And I had that same LG Stylo 6 phone, and the pictures was sent from that phone and ain't in the phone anymore. So I had the same LG Stylo 6 phone, and Easter texted me from 706-513, that number, and had those pictures of Ketchup in this wreck. So the video, why that is important, it has me 3-4 years ago making this same statement, that when I fill out W-4 I-9 forms, nobody stops them to make sure that they're correct. So I feel like, in a sense, I don't have nobody looking out for me, because they see it and don't say nothing, and know that I don't live in Hilton Head. They know I don't live in Kansas. They don't know I'm not in Texas. And nobody says, we need to make sure that her W-4s and her I-9 information is correct based on her choices. My allowances should be 2. And because you can claim 0 or 1 for yourself, And I think you claim 1 if you're head of household. So my exemption should be 2, and then my exemption should be 2, and my uh what is it? The other thing that you do, my address should be in Riverdale, and I should never, ever, 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 ever be exempt. Ever. I don't ever file that. Ever. I don't care if the IRS take out taxes. I never get to work longer than a week anyway, so I'm not going to owe a lot. So why am I fighting that? It's not like I'm going to make $100,000 and I still don't want that type of trouble. I don't know why they even allow that. That's annoying to me. I heard about it. Somebody told me about it, and I'm not interested in that. I just think that's a headache. Getting people their money. You ain't going to see it anyway. Go ahead and give them their money and let them go on with their life. It's a headache to have to, at the end of the year, you now got to go back and reconcile for all of the money that you didn't give them. And 9 times out of 10, if you do that, you're going to pay more in taxes because you didn't give it to them. So I didn't want that headache. All my other family have done that, and they owe the IRS lots of money. Maybe that's why they make plots on me. But either way, I didn't want nothing to do with that. I didn't want to do that. So I've never in my life, for the record, tell the whole truth, nothing but the truth. So help you God. Never, ever in my whole life filed exempt on nothing with the Internal Revenue Service. Ever in my life. I've never wanted to do that. It's a headache. And for the record, since 2020, when I filed that federal complaint, they don't let me work nowhere longer than a week anyway. So why are you filing exempt? You're not going to have a job long. So if you work 3 days, what are you going to owe them? $4? Give them the $4. So worst case scenario, you make a $200 check. What are you going to owe them? $22 maybe at the most. You know, if they do tax you 10% a little higher. But if they do an average 7% somewhere in there, you'll owe them a couple of dollars. It's not even worth it. It's not worth a federal charge to escape $13. You're not going to work here long enough. We only just want you to get the job so we can link what this Mexican made. Now, if you look at that in that term, then yeah, that exemption status matters because the Mexican or the black man is going to get to have the job for a long time until they accrue an egregious amount. And that's worth federal attention. And then they won't be there anymore. But you already made the tracks for it. So it just depends. UPS, FedEx, they definitely had me as a driver and making $100,000 plus a year. So might be some taxation there, obviously. And I was a material handler, and they was taking me along making all that false evidence at UPS with taking me over there and making me do orientations with the drivers. And I said, I don't understand why I'm over here. Just follow along, do what they say, and call it a day. And when they get done making the false evidence, then they're going to drive you out. They're going to aggravate me really bad, so bad that they just make me quit. And they will do it every day until we make you run and you quit. And then we're good to go. Everybody leave because they don't want you to stay there. And they're not going to stay there because they're just there to link you into the environment. And once they do, you're fired. We don't want you here no more. Let's go to the next job. And you just do that. So applying for a job, I don't ever like to apply for jobs because of that reason. you send in documents and you're not really applying for the job. You're linking yourself with men that have already worked, and you're linking yourself with apps that men have or do already work. And then, like the lady asked me the question on the phone, all of her questions were IRStional. Do you have a forklift? Because all of the jobs that they had me looking at were men forklift jobs. None of the jobs we have are on a bus line. How would you know? How in the hell would you know, ma'am? Ma'am, if you are a call center, ma'am, how would you know if your jobs are, if they own a seat? Because that's how you know that the scout was a scout. Because she say, listen to the questions. I called, a lady answered the phone. Can I have your name and your email? It's a Mexican lady. So we know that's one. Number two, can I ask you some screening questions before we schedule your interview? Now you got to ask screening questions. So now you're doing an interview over the phone. Can you can you do forklift? No, I'm not certified. Can you do forklift? I'm not certified. How many times I have to say that? Well, would you if you was? So they want you to say yes so that they could go ahead and say, see, she said she was forklift certified, so they can link me to all of Ketchup's income in his life, especially at Kobe. So then they go from that to say, none of our jobs are on a bus line. Can you still get there? So now we can link you to a vehicle. Yeah, I can still get there because I got Uber or Lyft. So yeah. So then they go from that. She go then to say, um, can you work any shift? Yes. Can you have open availability? Yes. And then she go from that and say, I'm sorry, you're not qualified. You didn't meet any other thing. How can I not be qualified, and how can I not meet anything if in fact, you know what I'm saying, I I have open availability and this, that, and the other. And she say, all of our jobs are forklift right now and you don't meet. So what happened to keeping my application on file? What happened to, you could still call in later this week, or I'll make you an appointment so you could get your the rest of your paperwork stuff done so that I can be updated in the future for a job. Now I'm gonna call back and see if bet you I'm gonna get the same lady because it's going to a cell phone. So let's see. I'm gonna ask that question.
This for training and quality purposes. At the end of your call, please remain on the line for a survey about your experience today. Listen carefully and select one of the following 6 options. To update your availability, press 1. To reschedule or schedule a new appointment, press 2. For a new appointment, press 1. To reschedule your existing appointment, please press 2. Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Go ahead. What did you say?
How can I help?
Is this Prologistics?
Not the specific office, but we're working with Pro Logistics.
Okay, I'm calling. My name is Crystal Ketchup, and I did an application on the phone, on my phone, and my I-9 documents are not correct, and I wanted to come in to correct those and update my availability. And the lady told me when I called a few minutes ago that I didn't qualify because all of your jobs were forklift, but I still would like to have my application on file, and I still would like to come in to correct my I-9 documents just in case, because you could get a job later today that I do qualify for that's not forklift, and I would want to be able to take that position. So, can I make an appointment today or make an appointment for sometime this week to come in to get those documents corrected?
All right.
909-300-2829. Crystal Ketchup. One second. Yes. Yes. Yes, and I would like to make an appointment so that I can correct my I-9 forms. They when I signed the I-9, it was putting the signature from me declining the pay card. It was putting that in all of the spots for me to sign. I'm listening.
Are you there?
Yes, I'm listening.
Okay. There is a. Okay. Let me open first the specific branch in Camquay. One moment.
Okay.
The question is. This is the questionnaire. Um. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. So you don't have any experience in forklift. It means that there's no position available.
I understand, but they open positions all the time that could not be forklift related, and I still would like to correct my I-9 documents because they were not filled out and signed correctly, and I never got a copy of them either. So I still would like for someone to go in to correct them. I mean, I've never heard of just because I'm not on forklift. When I look on Blue Crew, there are other jobs on there that are not forklift related that you don't need certification for. So I don't understand why I was not able to make an appointment.
All right. Yeah, we do understand that. When you try to check the website, you're seeing so many jobs available. Is that what you mean?
I when I look on Blue Crew, I see jobs that I qualify for that you don't have to have a forklift for. I just didn't pick the job because it was too far. But you don't have to have a forklift for several jobs on there. So that's not true. I can tell you what those jobs are right now.
Yeah, that's under Blue Crew, right? We don't see the process in here if it's under Blue Crew. And your application is under um Pro Logistics that it is in Camp Creek. It's not under Blue Crew.
So then why
And
on
if you
your
want,
on your site it says Pro Logistics and then it says Employee Bridge powered by Blue Crew because it tells me to download the app so that I
the
can
app, that's correct.
so right. So the jobs that you look for at Pro Logistics are going to go through Blue Crew, correct?
Yes, that is correct. Yes, that's correct.
So if I look on Blue Crew right now and I see jobs that are not forklift related that I can work at, then I'm doing the next best thing, which is to make an appointment to go in to talk to someone, correct?
There's an option in there under Blue Crew app because it's not allowing us to see the process in here. If you wanted to know more about or if you wanted to ask the specific job, you can. There's an option in there, Crystal, that you can chat for the specific customer support of the Blue Crew.
Okay, but in the meantime, in order for me to be eligible through any for any job on Blue Crew, I need to be certified or able to work through you, correct? Through Pro Logistics. So can I make an appointment to talk to someone at Pro Logistics so that I can correct my I-9
Hold on.
documents and get a job?
Hold on. Let me see first. Let me check first the Blue Crew here. Just one moment. Let me see. One moment. Just give me 1 second. Here, if you're calling in for Blue Crew, that is, you are correct as we start because Blue Crew is a self-service tool where you can select shifts or jobs via the Blue Crew app, right? So you have the Blue Crew app already, correct? And you were able to see seeing the to see on the website the specific job on the Blue Crew app, the specific job, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Hold on, let me see. Okay. I am unable to see your Blue Crew application in here, Crystal. But it's showing me only the application under Camp Creek.
Okay, what I'm saying is, can I just make an appointment so that I could go in to get everything settled?
Yes, yes, you can. As what I mentioned, all you concern about the Blue Crew, it is being handled via the app. You can just explore your app in there if you wanted to set up an appointment. Yeah, just um check on your Blue Crew app.
It doesn't
It is being handled
allow
via the
you
app.
it doesn't allow you anywhere in there, ma'am, to set up an appointment.
There's an option in there.
So hard? Is there anyone that you can email at the location? This Your hiring process is very difficult. How do I make either a complaint, or how do I talk? I don't like sending out my information to people and completing work study programs so you all can get tax credits for that, and I don't even get a job and can't even schedule an interview. Where is your corporate office? Where is your manager? Or how can I speak to someone so that I can make an appointment? They said if I were to go to the office that it's not open. So I don't like just sending out my information and don't know where it went, don't know who have it, and those are federal documents that I'm concerned about. So what is preventing you from making the appointment?
Hello, Crystal. I was able to mention already that through Camp Creek Branch Project, we support this office, but if it's a Blue Crow app, we don't support that. Okay? All the issues, all the concern is being handled. You can check also from time to time the updates on the website.
There's no
But
jobs
for
on the
information,
website because they say that you have to come in for an interview. Is there
yeah, we
any
need to
way?
confirm also that
Is there any way to email someone at the actual website, or is there any way to actually speak to someone at the actual site, or is there any way that you can have someone to give me a call? Is that possible?
so you wanted to speak with the branch? Is that what you mean?
Yes.
Okay, let me contact them quick, okay? I will be placing this call on hold if it's okay. Let me contact branch. Quick, okay? One moment. Hello, Crystal.
Yes.
Hi, I'm sorry for the wait 1 second because right now maybe there's sitting also other applicant in there. But I'll give you the phone number of the branch so that you can give them a call again. This is the
Okay.
phone number of the Camp Creek. No one is answering when I try to call them. But you can also visit the branch if you wanted to call it so that you can speak with them. Do you know the address?
No.
All right, would you like to get it?
The number will be fine.
Okay. Actually, we have the same phone number. That's why your call routed to us because no one is answering. So the phone number is 404-346-5313. But you can speak with them if they are picking up the phone. Right now, they're not picking up. That's why your call routed to us.
Okay.
I will be sending a message to them about your concern, okay? And the person will be the one to give a call back. Requesting to give a call back. All right?
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chris.
Alright, so that is what happened with that. While I was talking just now, let me see. My TV cut off and Facebook cut off at the same time. And my TV cut off and